Chapter 100. Who's your own company and command what cost? Your heart he's mine too. Exeunt. Enter Enobarbus and Eros. Eno, how now friend Eros? Eros, there's strange news come, sir. Eno, what man? Ero, Caesar and Lepidus ha made wars vipon Pompey. Eno, this is old, what is the success? Eros, Caesar hawing made VSC of him in the wars gainst Pompey, presently denied him reality, would not let him partake in the glory of the action, and not resting here, accuses him of letters he had formerly wrote to Pompey. Vipon his own appeal seizes him, so the poor third is VP, till death enlarge his confine. Eno, then would thou hadst a pair of chaps no more, and throw between them all the food thou hast, they'll grind the other. Where's Antony? Eros. He's walking in the garden thus, and spurns the rush that lies before him. Cries fool Lepidus, and threats the throat of that his officer, that murdered Pompey. Eno, our great noise rigged. Eros, for Italy and Caesar more Domitius. Chapter 1000. Why Lord desires you presently, my news. Chapter 1. Might ha told hereafter. Eno, 'twill not, but let it be. Bring me to Antony. Eros, come, sir. Exeunt. Enter Agrippa, Maecenas, and Caesar. Chapter 100. Eyes contemning Rome, he has done all this, and more. Chapter 1. In Alexandria, here's the manner oft. Chapter 1. Marketplace on a tribunal silhouard. Chapter 150. Cleopatra and himself in chairs of gold. Were publicly enthroned, at the feet sat. Chapter 100. Isarian whom they call my father's son. And all the Vian lawful issue, that their lust. Since then hath made between them, Vianto her. He gaw the establishment of Egypt, made her. Of Lower Syria, Cyprus Lydia absolute queen. Chapter 1000. This in the public eye. Chapter 100. Isar, ith common show place where they exercise. His sons hither proclaimed the King of Kings. Great Media, Parthia and Armenia. He gaw to Alexander, to Ptolemy he assigned. Syria, Cilicia and Phoenicia, she. Chapter 1. Habiliments of the goddess Isis. That day appeared, and oft before Gaw audience. As T's reported so. Chapter 1000. Let Rome be thus informed. Agri, who queasy with his insolence already. Will their good thoughts call from him? Chapter 100. Isar, the people knows it. And ha now received his accusations. Agri, who does he accuse? Chapter 100. Isar, Caesar and that hoeing in Sicily. Sextus Pompeius spoiled, we had not rated him. His Pardoth isle, then does he say he lent me. Some shipping Vian restored, lastly he frets. That Lepidus of the triumvirate should be deposed. And being that, we detain all his ruinu. Agri, sir, this should be answered. Chapter 100. Isar, T's done already and the messenger gone. Chapter 1. Ha told him Lepidus was grown too cruel. That he is high authority abuzzed. And did deserve his change, for what I ha conquered. Chapter 1. Grant him part, but then in his Armenia. And other of his conquered kingdoms, I demand the like. Chapter 1000. He'll newer yield to that. Chapter 100. Eyes nor must not then be yielded to in this. Enter Octoia with her train. Octa, hail Caesar and my hail most dear Caesar. Chapter 100. Isar, that you or I should call thee cast away. Octa, you ha not called me so, nor ha you cause. Chapter 100. Eyes why ha you staln vipon versus thus, you come not. Chapter 51. Key Caesar's sister, the wife of Antony. Should ha an army for Envisure, and the neighs of horse to tell of her approach. Chapter 50. Ere she did appear, the trees byth way. Should ha born men, and expectation fainted. Chapter 50. Onging for what it had not, nay the dust. Should ha ascended to the roof of Hoen. raised by your populous troops, but you are come. A market made to Rome, and ha preventade. The ostentation of our Lao, which left Vienne Shun. Chapter 1. S often left Vienne lewd, we should ha met you. By sea and land, supplying Uri stay. With an augmented greeting. Octa, good my lord. To come thus was I not constrained, but did it. On my free will, my lord Mark Antony. Hearing that you prepared for war, acquainted. Chapter 1000. Why grieved ear withal, whereon I begged his pardon for return. Chapter 100. Eyes which soon he granted, being an abstract, tween his lust and him. Octa, do not say so, my lord. Chapter 100. Eyes I ha eyes vpon him. And his affairs come to me on the wind, where is he now? Octa, my lord in Athens. Chapter 100. Esar, know my most wronged sister, Cleopatra. Hath knotted him to her, he hath Jew in his empire. Chapter 5. P to whore who now are louing. The king's oath earth for war, he hath assembled. Bacchus the king of Libya, Archelaus. Of Cappadocia, Philadelpho's king. Of Paphlagonia, the Thracian king Adullus. King Manchus of Arabia, king of Pont. Herod of Uri, Mithridates king. Of Comajat, Polman and Amyntas. The kings of Mede and Laconia. With a more larger list of scepters. Octa, I me most wretched. That ha my heart parted betwixt two friends. That does afflict each other. Chapter 100. Eyes welcome hither, your letters did withhold our breaking. Fourth. Till we pursued both, how you were wrong led. And we in negligent danger, cheer your heart. Be you not troubled with the time, which drews. Or your content, these strong necessities. But let determined things to destiny. Hold Vienne bewailed their way, welcome to Rome. Nothing more dear to me, you are abuzed. Beyond the mark of thought, and the high gods. To do you Eustis, makes his ministers. Of these and those that low you, best of comfort. And you're welcome to these. Agripp, welcome lady. Chapter 1000. Ec, welcome dear madam. Each heart in Rome does low and pity you. Onely th, adulterous Antony, most large. Chapter 1. And his abominations turns you off. And Jews his potent regiment to a trull. That noises it against versus. Octa, is it so, sir? Chapter 100. Eyes most certain, sister welcome, pray you. Be you are known to patience, my dearsty sister. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra and Enobarbus. Chapter 150. Io, I will be ewen with thee, doubt it not. Eno, but why? Chapter 150. Io, thou hast forspoke my being in these wars. And says to it is not fit. Eno, well, is it? Chapter 150. Io, if not denounced against these, why should not we be there in person? Enob, well, I could reply, if we should saru with horse and mares together, the horse were merely lost. The mares would bear a soldier and his horse. Chapter 150. Io, what is't you say? Enob, your presence needs must puzzle Antony. Take from his heart, take from his brain, from's time. What should not then be sparred, he is already. Traduct for luity, and tease set in Rome. That Photinus and eunuch, and your maids. Chapter 1000. Anage this war. Chapter 150. Io, sink Rome and their tongues rot. That speak against versus, a charge we bear ith war. And as the president of my kingdom, appear there for a man, speak not against it. Chapter 1. Will not stay behind. Enter Antony and Comidias. Eno, nay I ha done, here comes the emperor. Ant, is it not strange Comidius? That from Tarentum and Brandusium. He could so quickly cut the Ionian Sea. And take in Troyne, you ha heard aunt sweet. Chapter 150. Eo, celerity is newer more admired than by the negligent. Ant, a good rebuke, which might ha well become the best of men. To taunt at slackness, Comitius we will fight with him by sea. Chapter 150, Eo, by sea what else? Chapter 100, why will my lord do so? Ant, for that he dares versus toot. Enob, so hath my lord dared him to single fight. Chapter 100, I, and to wage this battle at Pharsalia, where Caesar fought with Pompey, but these offers, which Saro not for his vantage, he shakes off. And so should you. Enob, your ships are not well manned. Your mariners are militars, reapers, people. Chapter 1, engrossed by swift impress, in Caesar's fleet, are those that often ha gainst Pompey fought. Their ships are yours hoey, no disgrace shall fall you for refusing him at sea, being prepared for land. Ant, by sea by sea. Eno, most worthy sir, you therein throw away the absolute soldiership you ha by land. Chapter 501, stract your army, which doth most consist of war-marked footmen, low veen executed. Your own renowned knowledge, quite forego the way which promises assurance, and GUVP yourself merely to chance and hazard from firm security. Ant, I'll fight at sea. Chapter 150, Eo, I ha 60 sails, Caesar none better. Ant, our hour plus of shipping will we burn, and with the rest full manned, from TH head of action, beat TH approaching Caesar, but if we fail, we then can do't at land. Enter a messenger. Thy business. Chapter 1000, Ease, the news is true, my lord, he is disgrayed. Chapter 100, Esar has taken Taurine. Ant, can he be there in person? 'Tis impossible. Strange that his power should be. Comitius, our 19 legions thou shalt hold by land, and our 12,000 horse, wheel to our ship. Away, my Thetis. Enter a soldier. How now, worthy soldier? Soul, O noble emperor, do not fight by sea. Trust not to rotten planks, do you misdoubt? This sword and these my wounds, let th Egyptians and the Phoenicians go a-ducking, we ha est to conquer standing on the earth, and fighting foot to foot. Ant, well away. Exit Ant, Cleo, and Enob. Soul, by Hercules I think I am right. Chapter 100, soldier thou art, but his whole action grows not in the power on't, so our leaders lead, and we are women's men's. Soul, you keep by land the legions and the horse. Hold, do you not? Chapter 5, Marcus Octoius, Marcus Eustius, Publicola, and Celius are for sea. But we keep whole by land, this speed of Caesar's. Chapter 100, arise beyond belief. Soul, while he was yet in Rome, his power went out in such distractions as beguiled all spies. Chapter 100, who's his lieutenant, hear you? Soul, they say one Taurus. Chapter 100, well I know the man. Enter a messenger. Chapter 1000, Ease, the Emperor calls Comitius. Chapter 100, with news the times with labor, and throws forth each minute some. Exeunt. Enter Caesar with his army, marching. Chapter 100, Eyes Taurus. Toe, my lord. Chapter 100, Eyes strike not by land. Keep whole, progue not bagel. Till we ha done at sea, do not exceed the prescript of this scroll, our fortune lies. Chapter 5, Pawn this eump. Enter Antony and Enobarbus. Ant, set we our squadrons on yond side oath hill. Chapter 1, Eye of Caesar's battle, from which place we may the number of the ships behold, and so proceed accordingly. Enter Chapter 100. Amidst marcheth with his land army one way o'er the stage, and Taurus the lieutenant of Caesar the other way. After their going in is heard the noise of a sea fight. Alarum, enter Enobarbus and Scarus. Eno, not al not, I can behold no longer. Thantoniad, the Egyptian admiral. With all their 60 fly, and turn the rudder. To seat, mine eyes are blasted. Enter Scarus. Scar, gods and goddesses, all the whole synod of them. Eno, what's thy passion? Scar, the greater cantle of the world is lost. With very ignorance, we ha kissed away. Kingdoms and provinces. Eno, how appears the fight? Scar, on our side like the token pestilence. Where death is sure, yon ribodrid nag of Egypt. Whom leprosy a retake, amidst oath fight. When vantage like a pair of twins appeared. Both as the same, or rather ours the elder. The breeze vipon her, like a cow in Eun. Hoist sails and flies. Eno, that I beheld. Chapter 1001. Ne eyes did sicken at the sight, and could not. Chapter 1. Enter a further view. Scar, she once being loofed. The noble ruin of her magic, Antony. Chapter 150. Apps on his sea wing, and like a doting mallard. Chapter 50. Owing the fight in hate, flies after her. Chapter 1. Newer saw an action of such shame. Experience, manhood, honor near before. Chapter 999. Violate so itself. Enob, alaki. Enter Camidius. Chapter 100. Our fortune on the sea is out of breath. And sinks most lamentably, had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well. Oh, his hawes, you an example for our flight. Chapter 1000. Ost grossly by his own. Enob, I are you thereabouts, why then good night. Chapter 1. Indeed. Chapter 100. Toward Peloponnesus are they fled. Scar, 'tis easy toot. And there, I will attend what further comes. Chapter 100. Amid, to Caesar will I render. Chapter 1000. Why legions and my horse, 6 kings already. Show me the way of yielding. Eno, I'll yet follow. The wounded chance of Antony, though my reason sits in the wind against me. Enter Antony with attendants. Ant, hark, the land bids me tread no more vipont. Chapter 1. Tea is a sham to bear me, friends come hither. Chapter 1. Am so lated in the world that I ha lost my way for ewer, I ha a ship. Chapter 50. Aiden with gold take that duide it, fly. And make your peace with Caesar. Omnes fly, not we. Ant, I ha fled myself, and ha instructed cowards to run and show their shoulders, friends be gone. Chapter 1. Ha myself resolute vipon a course, which has no need of you, be gone. Chapter 1000. Why treasures in the harbor, take it, oh. Chapter 1. Followed that I blush to look vipon. Chapter 1000. Why very hairs do mutiny, for the white. Reprow the brown for rashness, and they them. For fear and doting, friends be gone, you shall. Ha letters from me to some friends, that will sweep your way for you, pray you look not sad. Nor make replies of loathness, take the hint. Which my despair proclaims, let them be left. Which lows itself, to the seaside straightway. Chapter 1. Will possess you of that ship and treasure. Chapter 50. O me, I pray a little, pray you now. Nay, do so, for indeed I ha lost command. Therefore I pray you, I'll see you by and by. Sits down. Enter Cleopatra, led by Charmian and Eros. Eros, nay gentle madam to him, comfort him. Chapter 1. Raz, do most dear queen. Chapter 100. Har, do why what else? Chapter 150. Eo, let me sit down, oh you know. Ant, no. Eros, see you here, sir. Ant, 0555. Chapter 100. Har, Madam. Chapter 1. Ras, Madam, O good Empress. Eros, Sir. Ant, yes, my lord, yes, he at Philippi kept his sword end like a dancer, while I strook the lean and wrinkled Cassius, and 'twas I that the mad Brutus ended, he alone. Chapter 500. Ealt on lieutenantry and no practice had. Chapter 1. In the braw squares of war, yet now, no matter. Chapter 150. Io, stand by. Eros, the queen, my lord, the queen. Chapter 1. Ras, go to him, madam, speak to him. He's bien quality'd with very shame. Chapter 150. Io, well then sustain me, oh. Eros, most noble sir, arise, the queen approaches. Her head's declined, and death will seize her, but your comfort makes the rescue. Ant, I ha offended reputation. A most bien noble swearing. Eros, sir, the queen. Ant, oh, whither hast thou lead me, Egypt, see how I canoe my shame out of thine eyes. By looking back ye, what I ha left behind, stroyed in dishonor. Chapter 150. Io, O my lord, my lord. Forge you my fearful sails, I little thought you would ha followed. Ant, Egypt, thou knew'st too well. Chapter 1000. Why heart was to thy rudder tied by strings, and thou shouldst tow me after, or my spirit. The full supremacy thou knew'st, and that thy beck might from the bidding of the gods. Chapter 100. And me. Chapter 150. Io, O my pardon. Ant, now I must to the young man send humble treaties, dodge, and palter in the shifts of loans, who with half the bulk oath world plaid as I pleased. Chapter 1000. Aching and marring fortunes, you did know how much you were my conqueror, and that. Chapter 1000. Why sword, made weak by my affection, would abate on all cause. Chapter 150. Io, pardon, pardon. Ant, fall not a tear, I say, one of them rates all that is won and lost, giu me a kiss. You and this repays me. We send our schoolmaster, is a come backy. Chapter 50. Ow, I am full of lead, some wine within there, and our viands, fortune knows. We scorn her most, when most she offers blows. Exeunt. Enter Caesar, Agrippa, and Delabelo with others. Chapter 100. Eyes let him appear that's come from Antony. Know you him? Chapter 500. Allah, Caesar, tease his schoolmaster. An argument that he is plucked, when hither he sends so poor opinion of his wing, which had superfluous kings for messengers. Not many moons gone by. Enter ambassador from Antony. Chapter 100. Esar, approach and speak. Am, such as I am, I come from Antony. Chapter 1. Was of late as petty to his ends as is the morndew on the myrtle leaf to his grand sea. Chapter 100. Eyes beat so, declare thine office. Am, lord of his fortunes, he salutes thee, and requires to leave you in Egypt, which not granted. He lessens his requests, and to thee sues to let him breath between the hoens and earth. A prewate man in Athens, this for him. Next, Cleopatra does confess thy greatness, submits her to thy might, and of thee craws the circle of the Ptolemies for her hairs, now hazarded to thy grace. Chapter 100. Eyes for Antony. Chapter 1. Ha no ears to his request, the queen of audience, nor desire shall fail, so she from Egypt drew her all disgraced friend, or take his life there. This if she perform, she shall not sue Vien heard, so to them both. Am, fortune pursue thee. Chapter 100. Eyes bring him through the bands. To try thy eloquence, now 'tis time dispatch. From Antony win Cleopatra, promise. And in our name, what she requires add more. From thine innuention offers, women are not. Chapter 1. And their best fortunes strong, but want will perior. The near-touched Vestal, try thy cunning Thydias. Chapter 1000. Ache thine own edict for thy pains, which we will answer as a law. Thid, Caesar, I go. Chapter 100. Esar, observe how Antony becomes his flaw, and what thou think'st his very action speaks. Chapter 1. En Uri power that muyus. Thid, Caesar, I shall. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Enobarbus, Charmian, and Eras. Chapter 150. Io, what shall we do, Enobarbus? Eno, think and die. Chapter 150. Io, is Antony or we in fault for this? Eno, Antony only, that would make his will. Chapter 50. Ord of his reason, what though you fled from that great face of war, whose Surall ranges frighted each other, why should he follow? The itch of his affection should not then ha nicked his captainship at such a point, when half to half the world opposed, he being the mirrored question, 'twas a shame no less. Then was his loss, to course your flying flags, and lo his nigh gazing. Chapter 150. Io, prithee peace. Enter the ambassador, with Antony. Ant, is that his answer? Am, I my lord. Ant, the queen shall then ha courtesy, so she will yield versus VP. Am, he says so. Antho, let her note. To the boy Caesar send this grizzled head, and he will fill thy wishes to the brim with principalities. Chapter 150. Io, that head my lord. Ant, to him again tell him he wears the rose of youth upon him, from which the world should note something particular, his coin ships legions. Chapter 1000. I be a cowards whose ministers would preul. Chapter 5. Ender the Ceruis of a child as soon as I'th command of Caesar, I dare him therefore to lay his gay comparisons apart, and answer me declined, sword against sword. Arcellus alone, I'll write it, follow me. Eno, yes, like enough, high-battled Caesar. Chapter 5. End state is happiness, and be stagged toth show. Against a sworder, I see men's judgments are a parcel of their fortunes, and things outward. Chapter 500. O draw the inward quality after them, to suffer all alike, that he should dream. Knowing all measures, the full Caesar will answer his emptiness, Caesar thou hast subdud. His judgment too. Enter a Saruant. Sir, a messenger from Caesar. Chapter 150. Io, what no more ceremony, see my women. Against the blown rose may they stop their nose. That kneeled Vntio the buds, admit him, sir. Eno, mine honesty and I begin to square. The loyalty well held to fools does make our faith mere folly, yet he that can endure to follow with allegiance a fowny lord. Chapter 500. O's conquer him that did his master conquer, and earns a place oth story. Enter Thydias. Chapter 150. Io, Caesar's will. Thid, hear it apart. Chapter 150. Io, none but friends, say boldly. Thid, so haply are they friends to Antony. Enob, he needs as many, sir, as Caesar has. Or needs not versus if Caesar please, our master will leap to be his friend, for viz you know whose he is, we are, and that is Caesar's. Thid, so, thus then thou most renowned, Caesar entreats not to consider in what case thou stand'st further than he is Caesar's. Chapter 150. Io, go on right royal. Thid, he knows that you embrace not Antony as you did Lau, but as you feared him. Chapter 150. Io, oh. Thid, the scars vpon your honor, therefore he. Chapter 500. O's pity as constrain blemishes, not as deserved. Chapter 150. Io, he is a god. and knows what is most right. Mine honor was not yielded, but conquered merely. Eno, to be sure of that, I will ask Antony. Sir, thou art so leaky that we must low thee to thy sinking, for thy dearest quit thee. Exit Enob. Thid, shall I say to Caesar what you require of him, for he partly begs to be desired to Geo, it much would please him. That of his fortunes you should make a staff to lean Vipon, but it would warm his spirits to hear from me you had left Antony, and put yourself under his shroud, the Vini whistle landlord. Chapter 150. Eo, what's your name? Thid, my name is Thidias. Chapter 150. Eo, most kind messenger, say to great Caesar this in disputation. Chapter 1. Kiss his conquering hand, tell him I am prompt to lay my crown at's feet, and there to kneel. Tell him, from his all-obeying breath I hear the doom of Egypt. Thid, tease your noblest course, wisdom and fortune combating together. Chapter 1. F that the former dare but what it can, no chance may shake it. Giumi Gracetala. Chapter 1000. Why duty on your hand? Chapter 150. Eo, your Caesar's father oft, when he hath must of taking kingdoms in, bestowed his lips on that Vienne-worthy place, as it rained kisses. Enter Antony and Anabarbus. Ant fours, by Io that thunders, what art thou, fellow? Thid, one that but performs the bidding of the fullest man, and worthiest. To haw command obeyed. Eno, you will be whipped. Ant aproc there, you kite, now gods and deols. Authority melts from me of late, when I cried Hoa. Chapter 51. Key boys vnto amus, kings would start forth and cry your will, ha you no ears. Chapter 1. Anthony yet, take hence this Iac and whip him. Enter a Saruant. Eno, tease better playing with a lion's whelp than with an old one dying. Ant, moon and stars. Whip him, were't 20 of the greatest tributaries that do acknowledge Caesar, should I find them. So saucy with the hand of she here, what's her name? Since she was Cleopatra, whip him fellows, till like a boy you see him cringe his face, and whine aloud for mercy, take him hence. Thid, mark Antony. Ant, tug him away, being whipped. Bring him again, the Iacchi of Caesar's. Bear Versus and errant to him. Exeunt with Thidias. You were half blasted ere I knew you, ha. I my pillow left Vienne pressed in Rome, forborn the getting of a lawful race, and by a eam of women to be abuzzed by one that looks on feeders. Chapter 150. Eo, good my lord. Ant, you ha been a boggler ewer, but when we in our viciousness grow hard, O misery on't, the wise gods seal our eyes. Chapter 1. And our own filth drop our clear judgments make V's. Adore our errors, laugh at's while we strut to our confusion. Chapter 150. Eo, oh, is't come to this? Ant, I found you as a morsel cold Vipon. Chapter 500. Ead Caesar's trencher, nay, you were a fragment of Gnaeus Pompey's, besides what hotter hours. Chapter 5. Registered in vulgar fame you ha. Chapter 50. Uxuriously picked out, for I am sure, though you can guess what temperance should be, you know not what it is. Chapter 150. Eo, wherefore is this? Ant, to let a fellow that will take rewards, and say, God quit you, be familiar with. Chapter 1000. Why play fellow your hand, this kingly seal, and plater of high hearts, oh that I were. Chapter 5. Pon the hill of Bassan to outroar the horned herd, for I hossoige cause, and to proclaim it seuli were like a haltered neck, which does the hangman thank. For being yare about him, is he whipped. Enter a Saruant with Thidias. Sir, soundly my lord. Aunt, cried he, and begged a pardon. Sir, he did ask for. Aunt, if that thy father Liu, let him repent. Thou wast not made his daughter, and be thou sorry to follow Caesar in his triumph, since thou hast been whipped for following him henceforth. The white hand of a lady forward thee. Shake thou to look on't, get thee backy to Caesar. Tell him thy entertainment, look thou say. He makes me angry with him, for he seems proud and disdainful, harping on what I am. Not what he knew I was, he makes me angry. And at this time most easy 'tis to do't. When my good stars, that were my former guides, how empty left their orbs, and shot their fires. Chapter 1. Ntoth abyss me of hell, if he mislike. Chapter 1000. Why speech and what is done tell him he has. Hipparchus, my enfranched bondman, whom he may at pleasure whip, or hang, or torture, as he shall like to quit me, vrge it thou. Hence with thy stripes be gone. Exit thid. Chapter 150. Eo, ha you done yet? Aunt, alacky our terrene moon is now eclipsed, and it portends alone the fall of Antony. Chapter 150. Eo, I must stay his time. Aunt, to flatter Caesar would you mingle eyes with one that ties his points. Chapter 150. Eo, not know me yet. Aunt, cold-hearted toward me. Chapter 150. Eo, ah dear if I be so. From my cold heart let Hoen engender hail, and poison it in the sours, and the first stone. Chapter 500. Rop in my neck, as it determines so. Chapter 501. Es solu my life, the next Caesarian smile, till by degrees the memory of my wam, together with my braw Egyptians all, by the discandering of this pelleted storm. Chapter 50. Ye groyless, till the flies and gnats of Nile ha buried them for prey. Aunt, I am satisfied. Chapter 100. Esar sets down in Alexandria where. Chapter 1. Will oppose his fate, our force by land hath nobly held, our Seward nigh too. Ha knit again, and fleet threatening most sea-like. Where hast thou been my heart, dost thou hear, lady? Chapter 1. F from the field I shall return once more. To kiss these lips, I will appear in blood. Chapter 1. And my sword will earn our chronicle. There's hope in't yet. Chapter 150. Eo, that's my braw lord. Aunt, I will be treble-sinewed, hearted, breathed, and fight maliciously, for when mine hours were nice and lucky, men did ransom lius of me for easts, but now I'll set my teeth and send to darken us all that stop me. Come. Chapter 50. Et's ha one other gaudy night, call to me. All my sad captains, fill our bowls once more. Chapter 50. Et's mock the midnight bell. Chapter 150. Eo, it is my birthday. Chapter 1. Had thought Teha held it poor, but since my lord. Chapter 1. S. Antony again I will be Cleopatra. Aunt, we will yet do well. Chapter 150. Eo, call all his noble captains to my lord. Aunt, do so we'll speak to them. And tonight I'll force the wine peep through their scars. Chapter 100. Oman my queen. There's sap in't yet, the next time I do fight. Chapter 49. E make death low me, for I will contend. Ewan with his pestilent scythe. Exeunt. Eno, now he'll outstare the lightning to be furious. Chapter 1. S to be frighted out of fear, and in that mood. The Dow will peck the estrage, and I see still a diminution in our captain's brain. Restores his heart, when valor prays in reason. Chapter 1. T eats the sword it fights with, I will seek some way to low him. Exeunt. Enter Caesar, Agrippa and Maecenas with his army, Caesar reading a letter. Chapter 100. Icy calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt, my messenger. He hath whipped with rods, dares me to personal combat. Chapter 100. Isar to Antony, let the old ruffian know. Chapter 1. How many other ways to die, meantime. Chapter 50. Awe at his challenge. Chapter 1000. Caesar must think. When one so great begins to rage, he's hunted. Ewan to falling, gew him no breath but. Chapter 1000. Ache boot of his distraction, newer anger. Chapter 1000. A de good guard for itself. Chapter 100. Eyes let our best heads know that tomorrow, the last of many battles, we mean to fight, within our files there are of those that serrowed Mark Antony but late. Enough to fetch him in, see it done. And feast the army, we haw store to do't. And they haw earned the waste, poor Antony. Exeunt. Enter Antony, Cleopatra, Enobarbus, Charmian, Eras, Alexas, with others. Ant, he will not fight with me, Domitian. Eno, no. Ant, why should he not? Eno, he thinks, being 20 times of better fortune. He is 20 men to 1. Ant, tomorrow soldier. By sea and land I'll fight, or I will lee you, or bathe my dying honor in the blood. Shall make it lee you again, woot thou fight well. Eno, I'll strike and cry, take all. Ant, well said, come on. Chapter 100. All forth my household Saracens, let's tonight. Enter 3 or 4 Sarrators. Be bounteous at our meal, gew me thy hand. Thou hast been rightly honest, so hast thou. Thou and thou and thou, you ha serrued me well. And kings ha been your fellows. Chapter 150. Eo, what means this? Eno, 'tis one of those odd tricks which sorrow shoots out of the mind. Ant, and thou art honest too. Chapter 1. Wish I could be made so many men. And all of you clapped VP together. And Antony, that I might do you Sarowis. So good as you ha done. Omnes, the gods forbid. Ant, well, my good fellows, wait on me tonight. Scant not my cups, and make as much of me as when mine empire was your fellow too, and suffered my command. Chapter 150. Eo, what does he mean? Eno, to make his followers weep. Ant, tend me tonight. Chapter 1000. It is the period of your duty. Haply you shall not see me more, or if a mangled shadow, perchance tomorrow, you'll sarrow another master, I look on you as one that takes his low, mine honest friends. Chapter 1. Turn you not away, but like a master. Chapter 1000. A ride to your good Sarowis, stay till death. Tend me tonight 2 hours, I ask no more. And the gods yield you fort. Eno, what mean you, sir? To gew them this discomfort, look they weep. And I in a se am onion-eyed, for shame. Transform verses not to women. Ant, ho ho ho. Now the witch take me, if I meant it thus. Grace grow where those drops fall, my hearty friends. You take me in too dolorous a sense. For I spake to you for your comfort, did desire you to burn this night with torches, know my hearts. Chapter 1. Hope well of tomorrow and will lead you where rather I'll expect victorious life. Then death and honor, let's to supper come, and drown consideration. Exeunt. Enter a company of soldiers. 1 Saul, brother, good night, tomorrow is the day. 2 Saul, it will determine one way, fare you well. Heard you of nothing strange about the streets? 1 Nothing, what news? 2 Belike 'tis but a rumor, good night to you. 1 Well, sir, good night. They meet other soldiers. 2 Soldiers, ha careful watch. 1 And you, good night, good night. They place themselves in ewery corner of the stage. 2 Here we, and if tomorrow are nigh 3 you, I ha an absolute hope our landmen will stand VP. 1 'Tis a braw army, and full of purpose. Chapter 1000. Music of the haboys is the stage. 2 peace, what noise? 1 list. 2 hark. 1 music I there. 3 the under the earth. 4 it signs well, does it not? 3 no. 1 peace I say, what should this mean? 2 tease the god Hercules, whom Antony loud. Now lows H walk, let's see if other watchmen. Chapter 500, oh hear what we do. 2 how now maesters. Speak together. Omnes how now, do you hear this? 1 I, is not strange. 3 do you hear masters, do you hear? 1 follow the noise, so far as we haw quarter. Chapter 50, let's see how it will gee you off. Omnes, content, tease strange. Exeunt. Enter Antony and Cleopatra, with others. Ant, Eros, mine armor Eros. Chapter 150, Io, sleep a little. Ant, no my chuck. Eros, come mine armor Eros. Enter Eros. Chapter 100, good fellow, put thine iron on. Chapter 1, F fortune be not ours today, it is. Because we brought her, come. Chapter 150, Io, nay, I'll help too, Antony. What's this for? I'll let be thou art. The armorer of my heart, false, this. Soothlaw I'll help, thus it must be. Ant, well, we shall three you now. Cease thou, my good fellow, go, put on thy defences. Eros, briefly, sir. Chapter 150, Io, is not this buckled well? Ant, rarely. He that vien buckles this, till we do please. To daft for our repose, shall hear a storm. Thou fumblest Eros, and my queen's a squire. Chapter 1000, or tight at this than thou dispatch, O Lau. That thou couldst see my wars today, and newsty. The royal occupation, thou shouldst see. A workman int. Enter an armed soldier. Good morrow to thee, welcome. Thou look'st like him, that knows a warlike charge. To business that we low, we rise betime. And go to't with delight. Soul, 1,000 sir early thote be, haw on there. Rewitted trim, and at the port expect you. Shout, trumpets flourish, enter captains and soldiers. Alex, the morn is fair, good morrow general. All, good morrow general. Ant, tease well-blown lads. This morning, like the spirit of a youth. That means to be of note, begins betimes. So, come you me that this way well said. Fare thee well, dame, whate'er becomes of me. This is a soldier's kiss, rebukable. And worthy shameful check it were, to stand. On more mechanic compliment, I'll loathe thee. Now like a man of steel, you that will fight. Follow me close, I'll bring you to't, adieu. Exeunt. Chapter 100, Har, please you retire to your chamber. Chapter 150, Io, lead me. He goes forth gallantly, that he and Caesar might. Chapter 500, Ederman this great war in single fight. Then Antony, but now, well on. Exeunt. Trumpets sound, enter Antony and Eros. Eros, the gods make this a happy day to Antony. Ant, would thou, and those thy scars had once preuled, to make me fight at land. Eros, hadst thou done so. The kings that ha ruled, and the soldier that has this morning left thee, would ha still followed thy heels. Ant, who's gone this morning. Eros, who, 1 year near thee, call for Anabarbus. He shall not hear thee, or from Caesar's camp. Say I am none of thine. Ant, what sayest thou? Sold, sir, he is with Caesar. Eros, sir, his chests and treasure he has not with him. Ant, is he gone? Saul, most certain. Ant, go Eros, send his treasure after, do it. Chapter 500, Eti no iat I charge thee, write to him. I will subscribe, gentle adieus and greetings. Say that I wish he knew or find more cause. To change a master, oh my fortune's haw. Chapter 100. Orrupted honest men, dispatch Enobarbus. Exit. Flourish. Enter Agrippa, Caesar with Enobarbus and Dolabella. Chapter 100. Eyes go forth Agrippa and begin the fight. Our will is Antony betook Aliu. Chapter 1000. Ake it so known. Agripp, Caesar I shall. Chapter 100. Isar, the time of Venius all peace is near. Proud this a prosperous day, the three-nooked world shall bear the Oliu freely. Enter a messenger. Chapter 1000. Ease, Antony is come into the field. Chapter 100. Eyes go charge Agrippa. Plant those that ha ruled in the vant, that Antony may seem to spend his fury. Chapter 5. Pawn himself. Exeunt. Enob, Alexis did ruled and went to Urion. Affairs of Antony, there did dissuade. Great Herod to incline himself to Caesar. And lo his master Antony, for this pains. Chapter 100. Isar hath hanged him, Commindius and the rest. That fell away, ha entertainment but no honorable trust, I ha done ill. Of which I do accuse myself so sorely, that I will no more. Enter a soldier of Caesar's. Saul, Enobarbus Antony, hath after thee sent all thy treasure, with his bounty hour plus, the messenger. Chapter 100. Aim on my guard, and at thy tent is now. Chapter 5. End loading of his mules. Eno, I jew at you. Saul, mock not Enobarbus. Chapter 1. Tell you true, best you Saph the bringer. Out of the host, I must attend mine office. Or would ha don't myself, your emperor. Chapter 100. Antony's still Io. Exit. Enob, I am alone the villain of the earth. And feel I am so most, O Antony. Thou mine of bounty, how wouldst thou ha paid? Chapter 1000. Why better Cerois when my turpitude? Thou dost so crown with gold, this blows my heart.